The winter of 1942 didn't care about uniforms, borders, or flags. It killed with silence, freezing rifles, snapping steel, and stealing breath in the dark. On both sides of the front, soldiers and civilians faced a new kind of enemy, the cold itself. Yet, in that frozen hell, they discovered tricks, clever, desperate, and brilliant, that turned survival into an art form. In the trenches and ruined farmhouses, soldiers learned to heat flat stones beside a fire, then wrap them in cloth and slip them under their coats or bedding. Those glowing stones became their silent heaters, keeping hands from freezing to rifles and hearts from giving up hope. From Finnish forests to Siberian plains, men learned that snow could save a life. A hollowed trench, lined with branches, trapped warmth, a white tomb that breathed just enough to keep them alive till dawn. To survive the cold, you had to think like it. When wool ran out, Soviet and Finnish soldiers used foot wraps, square cloth folded just right to wick sweat and dry by body heat. It was a trick older than the war itself, saving thousands from frostbite when boots froze stiff. In foxholes and bunkers, they built stoves from tin cans. Fill it with sand, light a candle inside, the metal soaked up heat, radiating warmth like a miniature furnace. Quiet, smokeless, and portable, the invention of necessity. Without lotions or cream, soldiers coated their faces in cooking grease, motor oil, even animal fat. It wasn't glamour, it was survival. That greasy film held off frostbite when the wind felt sharp enough to cut skin. A layer of straw, that was all it took to turn frozen ground into a barrier against death. Soldiers and refugees slept on it, their breath rising in faint mist under cracked roofs and broken barns. When fuel was scarce, they boiled stew just once, then buried the pot in hay or wrapped it tight in blankets. Hours later, it was still cooking. No flame, no waste, just quiet, stubborn ingenuity. To fight moisture, some soldiers sprinkled salt inside their boots. It drew out sweat and kept frostbite at bay, though too much could eat away at their skin. A cruel trade-off, but one that kept feet alive long enough to march again. Some soldiers left bottles of frozen water in the snow to catch a sniper's eye, a glint in sunlight mistaken for a helmet, a distraction that brought a heartbeat of time, sometimes the difference between life and death. These weren't inventions of scientists or generals. They were born from desperation, cold nights, and the human instinct to survive. In the frozen silence of World War II, survival wasn't luck, it was innovation. And maybe, in remembering these small tricks, we remember what humanity can endure when the world turns to ice.